Leaks are clearly not going anywhere anytime soon. As much as I believe leaks are hype killers, they're usually an inevitability in this digital age. Mortal Kombat 11 has been hit with at least 2 of these, with the leak of the roster post Summit of Time arguably being the biggest one. Another instance involved an alleged data mining of the switchboard of the game, revealing character DLC. Among the characters found in this data mine was one simply referred to as Ash. Some fans speculated this was a hint at Ashra, but many others believe it to be Ash Williams of the Evil Dead franchise. Not too long ago, Bruce Campbell took to Twitter and posted an image to dispel the rumor about Ash being in Mortal Kombat 11. Fans were divided about the post. There were those claiming to be heartbroken and disappointed in the news, understandable. Then there were those who weren't buying it and claiming it to be a blatant troll. This is also understandable. While it may sound like the latter group is leaning on wishful thinking, anyone who has followed gaming for years of their life has witnessed game developers trolling its fans. Now, I'm fairly confident that more than likely if you've clicked into this video, you have a pretty clear understanding about what trolling is. So in that case, we can go straight into the list. These are 10 times fighting game creators totally trolled you. Before we begin, honorable mention goes to Shenlong in Street Fighter II World Warrior. While this was basically the result of an accident in translation, Capcom knew it and it drove fans crazy. Now, with all that being said, let's get started. Number 10, Lab Zero. How?
Bukua!
Thanks. That is one interruption I actually don't mind. This is an interesting one when you consider the end result. On April Fool's Day, which is a day that dedicated trolls scoff at because why do it for one day when you can do it all the time on the internet, players with the Skullgirls Encore beta noticed an extra character had been added to the roster. I actually witnessed this firsthand with a friend of mine when we booted up the beta on his laptop in our college cafe. Mike Z actually came out and confirmed that she was planted in as an April Fool's Day prank. Interestingly, the reception of Fuqua was incredibly positive from the Skullgirls community, which resulted in her becoming a permanent character on the roster, albeit with a few tweaks. Well, that was just nice of them. And I hope you enjoyed that entry, because none of the rest of them are as cool as this. Number 9, Midway Games. How? Empty Coffins. I've personally considered the Mortal Kombat 11 crypt to be a troll in some aspects. Despite unlockables being determined a la RNG, I find it pretty odd that all I've unlocked in the crypt for the most part are cosmetics for characters I rarely, if not, don't play at all. Despite the ever-grueling grind that most players have criticized, we should be a bit fortunate that Mortal Kombat 11's crypt does not retain one of the more frustrating elements from the first ever crypt in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. That crypt was a much, if not the most simple of all the crypts, as all you had to do was collect a sufficient amount of coins, which came in 6 different colors, to unlock coffins. In this crypt, you could unlock characters, alternate costumes, videos, concept sketches, humorous extras, and more. If you were super lucky, you would also find coins in a coffin. Then developers placed something really special in the crypt for the unlucky. No, not a charm to help you with that awful luck, but a vacant coffin, accompanied by some unseen fiend laughing at you and your misfortune. Just try imagining empty chests in the MK11 crypt. I'll stop right there. Among the other troll unlockables in the crypt include Zebron and a coffin with just 1 ruby coin inside of it. What in all the realms? MK11's crypt is quite a buster, but as long as there aren't any empty chests, Zebrons, and a single piece of loose change in the chest, that's alright with me. Number 8, Katsuhiro Harada. How? Responding to the Lucky Chloe backlash. Whoo! People really hated Lucky Chloe upon her first being revealed. I remember seeing the immediate reaction from fans and not really getting the outrage. Design and gameplay wise, she's not really my cup of peach mango green tea either, but hey, that's what the other characters on the roster are for. The backlash was so immense that Katsuhiro Harada decided to fire back, albeit in a way that surprised many. He responded that he would replace Lucky Chloe with a powerful, muscled skinhead character with guns for the American market. He claimed Lucky Chloe would then be regionally exclusive to Europe and Japan. When asked if he was joking, he responded, "I'm always serious. If you don't need, I don't release them. If you need, I'll release. That's all." Harada's straightforward, no-nonsense response to the backlash was S+ tier trolling, seeing that not only had fans bought into it, but multiple news outlets fell for it as well. Bandai Namco designer Michael Murray confirmed Harada was trolling the entire time, claiming he's good at getting free publicity. Yes, he most certainly is. Also, as an added bonus, in response to one fan who loudly voiced his disgust with Chloe and demanded she be removed from Tekken, Harada clapped back with, "I'll remove you." Number 7, Bandai Namco. How? That Goku tweet. Dragon Ball FighterZ was released in 2018 to positive acclaim from fans and critics. The game is still pretty popular right now, with a reported 4 million copies sold, which was recorded at the end of March 2019. Despite all the praise, Dragon Ball FighterZ wasn't without some criticism. One thing that annoyed some fans was the roster being occupied by numerous incarnations of Goku. Of the first 24 characters on the roster, you had Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and Goku Black. The Season 1 DLC brought in base form Goku. Some fans go as far as to count Bardock, Vegito, and even Zamasu as Gokus. Counting Zamasu is kinda pushing it if you ask me. The rest I feel are more debatable. Granted, none of the Gokus play too much alike, it left fans wanting more from a franchise full of characters that could have been included. Like the previous entry, fans took to tweeting directly at Bandai Namco, voicing their disdain for the so-called Goku FighterZ. Bandai Namco responded with this image, along with the caption, "This bad boy could fit so many Gokus. Don't even joke like that." Do you know when they posted this image? Before Season 2 was even announced. And who popped up in Season 2? Kid Goku. As of this recording, there is only one mystery character left in Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2 Pass, and my money is on Turles. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I know it's more than likely Janemba since they accidentally leaked him. So, you can rest easy knowing there will be no more Gokus. No more. At all. Number 6, Arc System Works. How? UltimateBlazBlueNews.html. Hardcore ArcSys fans are well aware of the company's history of getting under their skin. For instance, the fans wanting Kokonoe as a playable character since Continuum Shift, only to be told nope numerous times by Toshimichi Mori and given other stuff instead. She did eventually become a playable character in the console version of Chrono Phantasma, which, while good, left 360 fans, including me at the time, fuming. Many would also point out to the damn near impossible to acquire trophies in several games. Battle Fantasia had a trophy you could only obtain by blocking Deathbringer's Apocalypse Flame attack and then beating him with a perfect what? Arguably the most well-known troll from ArcSys came in the form of a little secret found on a Continuum Shift 2 news site. The source code for UltimateBlazBlueNews.html was discovered, which when clicked, led to a YouTube video of a Hazama-themed troll face with a nice try caption, all backed by a chiptune version of I Am Glad Cause I Am Finally Returning Back Home by Edward Kiel, aka the Russian Rickroll, aka the Trollolo Man. The site is now defunct, but you can still find the video on YouTube, and it's waiting for you to find it. Number 5, Yoshinori Ono. How? DiCapre. Yoshinori Ono, or the biggest Blanca enthusiast in the universe, is another infamous trolling creator. Originally, Ono was a sound manager and sound producer for Street Fighter Alpha 3 and Third Strike respectively. He would then be promoted to producer come Street Fighter 4, which brought along some wacky stuff throughout its many incarnations. I'm sure you all remember come the announcement of Ultra Street Fighter 4, 5 new characters were announced: Hugo, Poison, Relento, and Elena, all of whom were the source of some scrutiny, seeing that all those characters had been in Street Fighter Cross Tekken not too long before. The 5th was hyped up as a brand new character, with the only hints being that the character is female and hasn't been in a fighting game before. Yeah, obvious contradictions are obvious. DeCapre isn't brand new. She has been in a fighting game before. She was in Alpha 3. I get they tried to keep people guessing, but there's being ambiguous and there's trying too hard to the point where you're technically wrong. Teasing a brand new character that has never been in a fighting game before evokes more excitement as opposed to saying a character that has never been playable in Street Fighter before. DeCapre was revealed to a lukewarm reception. The fact they picked a Bison doll who looks like Cammy probably didn't help it much, as most saw it as lazy, not just aesthetically, but also with the animations, some of which were practically recycled from Cammy. I mean, sure, you could argue there's a crap ton of Shotos with the same, if not similar moves, but again, you hyped up a fresh new face for the game. Also, remember Fukuwa from earlier? Hardcore Skullgirls fans will definitely recall this, but Lab Zero released an official reveal trailer for Fukuwa that parodied the opening segment of DeCapre's trailer. Number 4, Capcom. How UMVC 3 Mega Man teases. As great as Capcom newcomers to the beloved franchise such as Dante, Amaterasu, and Spencer were, they weren't great enough to heal the cracked hearts of Mega Man fans. Granted, the likes of staple favorites such as Venom, I'm so sorry, Jinsao Tomei, and Captain Commando were also excluded, they didn't have nearly as much outcry as the Blue Bomber. As many saw coming, an ultimate version of MVC3 was announced, with new characters being added, which brought on a spirit bomb's worth of hope that Rockman, not that one, would be one of them. In the midst of character reveals, one of the new stages caught the interest of eagle-eyed fans. The Days of Future Past stage, an alternate version of Metro City, had a poster consisting of characters from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. All of them were marked as slain or apprehended, except, of course, for Mega Man. Many took this as a hint that he would be revealed as a new playable character, but then we found out whomever made this poster possibly got fooled by Zero's new skin. Remember that skin? I think we all do, seeing that either made you or someone you know all the more salty. Frank West also had a Mega Man costume, which made me remember he had a Mega Man themed super in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. The final curb stomp to the dilapidated hearts of those Mega Man fans was the inclusion of not just Phoenix Wright, who many think took his spot, and I love Ace Attorney, shut up Tron, but also the addition of Strider. Confused? Well, let me ask this. Do you know how Strider got into the game? Fan demand, according to Ryo Tenetsuma. Now, I'm not saying that no one wanted Strider, but many of us will probably agree the outcry for Mega Man was much, much louder. Number 3, Ed Boon. How? Just look at his Twitter. Remember Bruce Campbell's post mentioned earlier? The reason why many fans aren't buying his deconfirmation claim is because of the man known as one half of the namesake of Noob Saibot. I am confident that Ed Boon is thankful for platforms like Twitter, seeing he has quite the torrential timeline of trolling. He is so infamous for such tactics, news outlets always feel the need to point out he may be trolling when he announces something. Boon has trolled fans so many times in so many ways, it could be a video all its own. So instead of covering each and every single one, let's just play some of the greatest hits. In 2013, he posted a tweet captioned Ed Boon retirement announcement, which was actually referring to a New York pastor of the same name. Then there's this tweet from 2014 from a fan hungry for MKX pre-order bonus Goro's reveal trailer. There are also a crap ton of Boon's confirmed tweets, which are basically 50-50, seeing that sometimes the character is eventually revealed, like Alien, and sometimes they aren't, like Shaggy. Then there's the infamous Melina tweet. Finally, while it didn't occur on his Twitter page, it's too good to pass up. The MK11 reveal at the Video Game Awards. Number 2, Masahiro Sakurai. How? Over to Smash Bros. Now. Its creator Masahiro Sakurai has promotional tactics akin to that of Ed Boon. He's kept fans constantly guessing about certain aspects of the game, primarily the characters, as he's usually barraged with requests for certain characters. Whereas Melina fans were annoyed with Ed Boon, Sakurai caused Waluigi fans to let out a collective Waluigi had been revealed as an assist trophy, which basically confirmed he wouldn't be on the playable roster, a fact that Sakurai was more than glad to repeat multiple times. Further fueling those flames, he used Waluigi as a test dummy to demonstrate that assist trophies could be KO'd in this game. Cruelty. And number 1, Yoshinori Ono. Again, how? Bad box art Mega Man. I know I mentioned Ono already, but this particular tactic got fans super heated, so it gets its own entry. So in the midst of the beloved Mega Man being excluded from MVC3 and its Ultimate update, the cancellation of Mega Man Legends 3, and the cancellation of Mega Man Universe, fans were convinced that Capcom were doing everything to bury the franchise that, alongside Street Fighter, helped establish the company as a major player in the late 80s. The fact that Mega Man appeared in Street Fighter X Tekken with a design based on an infamously horrible regional specific box art of his very first game, dubbed Bad Box Art Mega Man, didn't help in the slightest. While most fans thought Ono did this as a take that to Mega Man and his fans, Ono actually wanted to use the original Mega Man for Street Fighter X Tekken. What struck down this plan was an objection from Mega Man illustrator and artist Keiichi Inafune, telling Ono to try something unique. Ono then thought up the bad box art idea, having Mega Man middle-aged, overweight, and armed with a gun rather than his signature Mega Buster. This was intended as a joke about how long it had been since Mega Man's creation. Believe it or not, Inafune loved the idea, but it did not go over well with fans. This plus on-disc DLC, online tag matches not allowing 2 local players to use one account to play on the 360, only caused Street Fighter X Tekken to fall out of favor with fans. The fans wanted the Blue Bomber, but had to settle with a bloated buffoon.
I don't understand!
And that's my list. Did I leave any out by chance? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see more of my content. Next video is going to be the worst to best of Johnny Cage's designs, so keep a lookout for that. One more thing before I go. One of my best Mortal Kombat frenemies, Lord Last Hokage, is getting his Surviving series up and running now on YouTube. I initially thought it was going to be exclusive to Instagram, but as you see, that's changed. He plans to at least on average post 1 video a week, so check him out there if you're having trouble with a character in Mortal Kombat 11. Send a request if there's a particular character that you want him to cover, and I'm sure he'll be more than glad to do so. That's pretty much it for this video. With that being said, I'll catch you all next time. See ya.